Welcome back to ARC Tutorials. This is HTML full tutorial series for absolute beginners. In the last episode, we learned about block level elements and inline elements. Those are interesting and very important fundamental concepts of learning about HTML elements. Today, we are going to learn about HTML class attribute and why classes are important, what you can do with it, and much more. I have already touched this topic little bit when I covered style and CSS earlier in the series, but today I'm going to deep dive, cover a lot of use cases, show you different possibilities. With that being said, let's get started. This is part 18 of the series. If you haven't checked out the previous episodes, make sure that you go through them and learn and master HTML with me. If you have any questions or doubts, ask me in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to help you. Today we are learning about HTML classes. The HTML class attribute is used to specify a class for an HTML element. Okay. The class name is case sensitive. Very important thing to remember. A lot of beginners or junior developers will make this mistake. We can give class attribute to any element in the HTML. Okay. And we can give multiple HTML elements the same class name. Okay. Now the class attribute is often used to point to a class name in style sheet. Okay, that we have already seen some, but I'll cover it in detail. The class attribute can be used on any HTML element. Okay, that's the simplest way, but I will explain these concepts in code by hands-on. Okay, that being said, let's get started with code. That's the best we do, right? All right, so to make it easy and not make it clutter, I'm going to create a new HTML file, and here I'm going to say design1 dot, or not design, I'll call it design after one more episode. For now I'll call it let's call it design for now. All right, and I'm just going to take the common things that we always require, which is HTML head and those things, right? So you have your head section, you need that HTML head, and then you need the body section, right? And then you will finally close the HTML. So this is a common structure of any HTML page. Okay, so for the body, so let's see how it looks. For now it would be a great design. This is how it looks, empty. All right, so let's throw in few elements. Now you should be able to tell me that these are what kind of elements. What is h1? H1 is a block level element with styles. Okay, and classes, right? With class. So this is a block level. How do I know? So now I'm going to write my CSS inside head tag, like how I showed you earlier. Since it's a attribute name, h1 is a tag, so you don't need any dot or anything. You just write h1 followed by the style property, right? Okay, so it has got the yellow and it is still here. If you can't see light yellow, I'm going to make it light. Okay, so now I hopefully you can see it. Now let's add some more beautiful things. I'm going to add some padding and make it little bigger, the space between these two. That is good. I want to center align, so text align center and bring it to the center. Okay, nice. Now we are learning about using class attribute. So you can use class attribute with anything. Now let's say first I'm going to throw in a section. Okay, and I'm going to say professional. This section is professional. In this I'm going to add div and call it section data, right? And I'm going to call it section. Okay, so here I'm going to say this is where you will add professional details. Okay, this is one section like that. Now similarly I'm going to copy paste it 3 times, each have the same class name, but data will change. So here I'm going to say personal, here I'm going to say professional, personal, and social, right? Just like your LinkedIn or something like that, or Facebook. So now see, you have 3 different sections. One is professional, one is personal, one is social, right? And all have the, see here, same class name I am repeating. I have the section, I've given a class as section. Here also I'm using the same class. Here also I'm using the same class. Now let's style them in CSS. So here I'll say dot section. Always remember the thumb rule is always use dot with class name. Okay, here this is the class name, so you will write dot. Now you must be wondering, should I give the same name as this tag? No, you don't have to. You can call it section info. You can change, you can give any name as long as it's valid, it doesn't have any invalid character, and they are case sensitive. So I'm just showing this so that you don't get confused with the name. Okay, here I'm giving section info, and since it's a class name, in your CSS you will write dot followed by the class name. Now here I'm going to say background color should be light gray. Okay, because the entire section is gray color, so that's why it is showing gray color. All right, but let's me make it, I'm going to change little bit about it, and I'm going to make it div, and here I'm going to say section title. Okay, and same thing I just did inside a div now. Okay, all I've done is I have a section in info, which is one main section parent. I have two divs inside it. I have given class name section title. Okay, that way we can make it even more better design. Just copy paste same, and here also copy this till the title. You can type it also if you would like. I'm a pro at it, so I'm copy pasting, but you do the typing work. Alright, so now that I have three classes that I have reused in the page, and that's why classes are used, because you can write the style only once and reuse it in the page multiple times. Never write multiple CSS, it's not a good practice. So here I'm saying the background color for section title should be gray color. Now see, only these titles are gray color, but it's not looking good, so let's make it look good. So I've made it big, right? And I'm saying I want the border at the top, so I'm saying 1 pixel solid TTT. I will cover it, all of this in a separate CSS playlist, so make sure that you get that. Now I'm saying that I need some margin between all of this, so I'm using margin, so now they are all separate, right? So now instead of the title, I will use on the section info, so that way each of this section is now separate, right? See, and what I can do is, so I have styled the this thing. Now here I'm going to say font weight should be 700, which is bold, or you can write bold. Now see, the all the styles are getting applied quickly, and since by changing one place. That is the beauty of class. Okay, you can give class and to any number of elements. I have given it in 3 places, right? You can give it to a paragraph, you can give it to a list, you can give it to anything you want, same class name. You can give paragraph class, you can give h1 a class, you can give list a class, right? In real time you will end up giving classes to the parents like this, and so on and so forth. So basically whatever HTML tags we have learned so far in the list, right, in the series, you can give class names to all of that. Okay, so this is where we are at. Now I'm saying that for all the section data I want the font size to be big, so I'm going to say section data font size should be 20 pixel. Now see, they're all big, right? Now I want the section title to be bigger, so 24 pixel. Now they are even bigger. So see how beautifully you can just control the entire CSS with just few lines of code and few classes. The entire page can be designed with neat and clean, right? So that is where basically class is used. Class can be given to multiple elements in the page. Class is mainly used so that you can control it via CSS or style sheet. Okay, and you can just give more than one place, right? So that's what we learned, that a class attribute is used to specify a class for HTML element. Class names are case sensitive. Multiple HTML elements can share the same class. Okay, so this is what you should know about classes. Okay, that you can give class name to the same class name what you have given to section title can apply to any element in the page. Let's say I'm giving a paragraph, right? So see, now this also has the same style like the section title here, the div. So basically now you get the point that you can use the same class to any element to make it look like that. Okay, you can write any number of classes in the page, but remember the trick is to write less classes and reuse them more in the page. Okay, I hope now the concept of class is clear in HTML. In the next episode, we will learn about HTML ID. Very, very important topic, especially when you work with advanced systems or JavaScript frameworks or any other integration with any other website. You will need IDs. So in the next episode, I'm going to cover everything about it. As always, if you have any queries, write to me. I'm more than happy to help you and share my knowledge with you. Thank you so much for joining in this episode. See you in the next episode.